black. All important YouTube videos start with a black screen.
What's up, guys? Oh, every flippin' person on YouTube uses that to start their videos. Hey, how you doing? Oh, g'day, mates. What, I'm Australian now? Top of the morning to you, laddies. Hello, thank you for calling Microsoft Technical Support. Ah, Perry the Platypus. What was it you wanted me to say again? He was wanting you to... never mind. We've wasted enough time. Hey, where's Perry? Welcome to Maraksot's Reviews and How-Tos. My name is Brian, and today we'll be taking a look at the Western Digital MyCloud Mirror. This video has turned out to be a bit longer than I was originally thinking it would, so I want to let you know that I have placed timestamps in the video description, so if at any time you'd like to skip directly to a certain section of the video, you can simply click the corresponding timestamp and jump straight to what you want to see. I recently picked up the MyCloud Mirror on Amazon to replace a 2TB WD MyBookLive that my wife and I bought at Costco some 5 or so years ago or something like that. The MyBookLive is still working great. It's just that with all the 4K video I've been shooting this past year, that 2 terabytes of space is quickly dwindling. Not to mention, the MyBookLive is only sporting a 100 megabit per second network adapter, which makes backing up said 4K video files a very long process. I chose this 6 terabyte WD MyCloud Mirror because, first of all, I wanted to increase our storage capacity, and when I bought this drive, I made the mistake of assuming, since the name said mirror in it, and that it said 6 terabytes on the box, that it had 2 6 terabyte hard drives inside of it. Well, I'm an idiot, and that is not the case. It actually contains 2 3 terabyte hard drives, which leads me into my second reason for buying this drive, because it's a dual NAS. As it says in its name, this is a mirror drive. For those familiar with RAID setups, you'll recognize this as a RAID 1 configuration. For those that are not familiar with this terminology, what it means is inside the unit are multiple hard drives working together. In the case of RAID 1, anything that you save to one drive is automatically backed up to the other. And I'll talk about this a little more in detail later on in the video. My third reason for choosing this drive is I wanted to shorten up those file transfer times, and thanks to its gigabit network adapter, I'll be able to theoretically cut those times down to 1/10 of that of our old network attached storage drive. My final reason for choosing this drive from WD is because of my past positive experience with WD drives. I've owned a lot of different computers over the course of my lifetime and have had several hard drives fail on me. However, of the hard drives I've had fail, not one of them was a WD drive. Every WD drive I've ever owned has always outlasted its useful lifespan, and excuse me a moment while I knock on wood. Hopefully that little superstitious ritual has just helped me avoid an imminent hard drive catastrophe. Okay, how about we move on to getting this guy out of the box? First things first, let's get this plastic off of here. And as we get our first look at what's inside, we're greeted with a friendly message from WD, on the back of which is the most complex set of instructions I think I have ever seen. I'm just kidding, in case you didn't get that. All we have left after that is the MyCloud Mirror itself, and then a box which contains the power cord and an Ethernet cable. As for the drive enclosure itself, on the front we have the WD MyCloud Mirror branding, as well as 3 different indicator lights, one for the power, and then one for each of the 2 hard drives inside, presumably to let us know which drives are working properly. The sides of the unit offer very little to see other than shiny white plastic. The bottom is covered with all kinds of ventilation holes, and you can also see we have 4 rubber feet that do a great job of keeping the unit stuck to the surface you place it onto. Moving around to the back of the drive enclosure, we have our power port. Just above it is our gigabit network port. And last but not least, we have two USB 3.0 ports. As we move to the top of the unit, this is where things really get interesting if you're a nerd like me. If you press this button here, it will release a latch, allowing the top of the unit to swing open like so, exposing the two 3TB WD Red NAS hard drives inside. Now, you'll remember that earlier in the video, I mentioned that these drives are set up in what is called RAID 1. What this means is that any data written to one of the drives is also automatically backed up to the second drive. That way, if one of your drives was ever to fail, you still have a copy of your data on the other drive. And then once you replace the failed drive with a new one, the unit will automatically rebuild the array and back up everything to your new drive from the remaining drive. The downside of this configuration is that it cuts your total storage space in half. So even though this unit has 6 terabytes of total storage space, it effectively only has 3 terabytes of space because everything I save to it is copied to the other drive. When I bought this drive, since it had Mirror in the name, I assumed that the advertised 6 terabyte capacity listed meant that it contained 2 6 terabyte drives. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I didn't read all the details in fine print. I was pretty disappointed when I finally discovered that it was really only a 3 terabyte because that's only 1 terabyte more storage than what I already have. But this unit is a big upgrade for me in the network speed department. And for those of you that are wondering right now, yes, I did look into returning it and buying the 12 terabyte model, which would give me actually 6 terabytes of mirrored storage, but it's a little bit out of my budget right now, so yeah. On the plus side, it appears that I should be able to upgrade these drives to higher capacity ones without any problem whatsoever at a later date. Removing a drive is as simple as undoing this little screw thingy here, removing this retention plate, and then pulling on this tab here connected to the drive and sliding the drive right on out. This is also what you would do if a drive were to fail and you needed to replace it. Before we move on to setting this guy up, let's take a brief moment to glutton ourselves in the glorious geek tradition that is the peeling of the plastic.
Oh yeah.
The physical setup process is very simple. I think it goes without saying that you'll need to plug in the power cable to the NAS and also plug one end of the included network cable into the NAS and the other end to your router or other network switch. Wait a minute, I just said it, didn't I? Once the MyCloud Mirror is powered on and connected to your network, you'll need to get onto a computer that is also connected to your home network. And in the address bar of your web browser of choice, go to mycloud.com/setup. Click on Get Started, and it will then attempt to locate the MyCloud Mirror on your network. I say attempt to locate because it didn't work for me the first time. It actually told me a couple of times, MyCloud device not found. But after clicking try again a couple times, and after probably about a minute from when I first started, it finally landed on the Choose Your Language page. From there, I had to create a password, which I found cannot exceed 16 characters in length, just so you know. After that, I just followed the on-screen instructions until I landed at the MyCloud dashboard. At the top of the dashboard, we have 8 different icons or categories of options that we can play with. The first of which is the home page. Here we have a nice little pie chart showing how much free space we have on our drive and what types of files are taking up the different percentages of space. There's also a little section that shows the health of our drives and what firmware we're currently running. Below all that is the network activity monitor, which displays activity on the NAS, and then shortcuts to adding cloud devices, users, and apps. On the users page, you can add the names of other users of your NAS as well as create groups. The advantage to the group function is it allows you as the administrator to set folder permissions for an entire group of people all at once rather than having to set those permissions for each individual. The shares page is where you can create folders and set which users and groups have access to those folders and what exactly their permissions are with those folders. The app page is where you can manage the apps that come pre-installed on the MyCloud, and there are also some additional apps you can download and add to your NAS, one of those being Plex Media Server, which I do not yet have any experience with personally, but from what I understand is a great way to stream your digital media to all of your devices. Moving along to the Cloud Access page, in order for you or any of the users you've set up to gain access to the MyCloud on a smartphone or tablet, their device needs to be registered as a part of your personal cloud ecosystem. In this menu, you can click on the user you want to give access to, then click on Get Code. You'll then need to enter this code in the MyCloud app on their phone or tablet within a 48-hour period. The MyCloud app is a free download from both Google Play and the Apple App Store. Once the code has been entered, that device will then be able to remotely access the MyCloud from anywhere via the internet. One nice little feature that's built into the app is the ability to back up your pictures and video from your smartphone or tablet to the MyCloud Mirror. You can choose to do this both over Wi-Fi as well as over mobile data. The backups page is where you manage different backup configurations. The first option is for USB backups, which allows you to back up data on the NAS to a USB device or vice versa. Remote backups allows you to back up the MyCloud to another server via the internet. Internal backups appears to give you the ability to back up folders on your MyCloud into another folder on your MyCloud. Why someone would want that, I'm not quite certain, but I'm guessing that someone wants this functionality, which is why it's here. Cloud backups allow you to back up the data on the MyCloud Mirror to a cloud service like Amazon S3 and Elephant Drive, neither of which I have any personal experience with. And finally, there is the camera backups option. This is another feature I haven't used and don't plan on using, but from what I've read, you plug your camera into the MyCloud via one of the USB ports on the back of the unit, and from this page you can set it up to automatically back up the pictures from your camera whenever it is connected. Set the destination folder and set if you want it to copy the files or move them from the camera to the MyCloud Mirror. Although I'm sure these varying backup options are useful to some people, I believe the majority of people interested in a NAS like this are going to be using it for backing up and storing their personal files from their computers more so than anything else. To do that, you're going to need to download the WD Smartware application from WD's website. The Smartware software is pretty easy to use. It took me 5 or 10 minutes of playing around with it to figure out exactly how to use it. The way it works is on the Home tab under Backup Source, you first select the drive that has the files on it you want to back up. Under Backup Target, you then select the WD device you want to back up to, assuming you have more than one like I do. You'll then want to select the folder you want to back up to from the little drop-down list here. You can create custom folders on your drive to back up to if you'd like, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep things simple and just choose one of the default folders. Once you've got that stuff selected, you can move to the Backup tab. There's a couple different ways you can choose which files you want to back up. The default is like this, where you can select categories of files like pictures and videos and such to back up from your selected drive. Personally, I like to be more specific than this, so I went down here to switch to file backup. You then get a little warning saying you're changing the default backup plan. You just click OK, and now you can back up specific folders or go into any folder on your drive and choose individual files you want backed up. Click Apply Changes, and then move on to setting up the backup frequency. Here you can set it up to continuously back up your files or set up a schedule. Once you've done that, click Enable Backup, and you're done. The Smartware software will begin backing up your selected files and folders according to the schedule that you've set. Flashing back now to the MyCloud UI, next up we have the storage page. Our first option on this page is our RAID profile. Here we can turn the auto rebuild option on or off. If one of your drives were to fail and you have to replace it with a new one, you can switch this option on and the array will rebuild itself without you having to take any further action. The MyCloud Mirror comes out of the box in a RAID 1 configuration, leaving me with only 3 terabytes of usable space. If you're planning to make regular backups of your MyCloud to another device and/or don't care so much about the built-in redundancy of RAID 1 and you'd like to take advantage of all 6 terabytes worth of space, there are several options available for you to do just that. There's JBOD, which makes the 2 drives in the NAS become addressable as 2 separate drives. Spanning treats the 2 drives as if they were one big drive. And then RAID 0 also treats the 2 drives as a single drive. However, the data is written in stripes onto each drive. So rather than sending all the data for a particular file to one drive, small amounts of the file are written to each drive, allowing the drives to operate simultaneously, thus increasing read and write speeds. The downside to RAID 0 is if one of the drives fails, then you lose all of your data, as only partial incomplete data is left on the remaining drive. In the other configurations, other than RAID 1, you would only lose the data on the failed drive itself. RAID 1 is the only configuration on this NAS where no data would be lost in the event of a single drive failure. Because in RAID 1, a complete copy of one drive is made to the other drive, meaning you always have a backup of all your data. Again, as I've mentioned earlier in this video, the downside to RAID 1 is that since it's making a copy of all your data from one drive to another, your usable space is only that of a single drive and not the total combined capacity of the 2 drives in the array. The final page is the settings page, and it is full of stuff that, for the most part, I'm just going to leave at the default, as I'm sure most people watching this video will also do. Now that I've put you to sleep with my rundown of the UI, let's move on to one of the primary reasons I purchased this NAS, and that's for its gigabit network adapter. For comparison, I'm going to transfer a 3.7 gigabyte video file from my Western Digital black hard drive on my PC to my old MyBook Live, and according to the Windows file transfer thingy, it's going to take around 5.5 minutes to complete the transfer at 100 megabits per second. Now, when I copy the same video file to the MyCloud Mirror, you can see that our data transfer rate is 10 times what it was on my old NAS and completes in less than 30 seconds. As for my final thoughts on the MyCloud Mirror, my main use for this is simply as a network attached storage drive, and for that purpose, it works perfectly. I wanted a place to store my data where it would be automatically backed up, and thanks to the MyCloud Mirror being set up in RAID 1 by default, it was exactly what I wanted right out of the box. I am a little miffed that I was fooled by WD's marketing team putting 6 terabytes in the product description and on the box. Yes, it is true that there is a total of 6 terabytes worth of storage between the 2 drives that come installed, but when the product is called MyCloud Mirror, and since I know that mirror means that you're mirroring one drive to another, meaning you have to have 2 drives of the same capacity, I assumed the 6 terabytes capacity emblazoned on the box meant it was 6 terabytes of mirrored storage, aka 2 6 terabyte drives. And when I say I'm a little miffed, I mean that I'm a little miffed at myself because I should have known better. I should have looked at the product description more carefully. I've been around the block with this kind of stuff enough times to know. My stupidity aside, I'm very happy with the MyCloud Mirror. I now have the increased capacity and redundant storage I've wanted. hugely faster data transfer speeds compared to my old NAS, and even though I was able to access my previous NAS from my phone, it remains a favorite feature of mine with the MyCloud Mirror as well. If you'd like to purchase your own MyCloud Mirror and would also like to help support what I do here on my channel, I have provided an Amazon link in the video description where you can do both of those things. I hope you have enjoyed this video, that it's given you the information you're looking for. I encourage you to do all the usual stuff. Click the thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done so, and leave a comment down below if you have a question for me or if you'd just like to say hello. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I look forward to hanging out with you again next time.
White. All important YouTube videos end with a white screen. And if you don't get this, then you obviously never saw Lego Batman. You should totally go and watch it. Or I guess you could watch some of these other videos that Brian made. It's up to you.